So we got our second snowstorm.
Yeah, we did. Oh, it's a nice day. The sun is shining. This beautiful white powder everywhere.
Man,
but it might slow us down a little bit working.
wait, we got about 6 more inches.
Yeah.
So we got to get the snow cleared off of our tarp here, and we got to get a ladder down, shoved down in there, because what's happening today?
Inspection day.
Inspection.
Our inspector is coming, so we're ready for him. We just got to be able to.
We hope we're ready for him.
I think we're ready.
He needs to see the rebar. As far as I know, that's all he cares about.
Right.
We aren't done with bracing, though. We have tons of bracing we need to still do on those forms. Let's dig it out. This morning it was 2 degrees Fahrenheit out, which is pretty cold for our area. We live in Arizona. We do get a handful of days that are around that temperature during the winter. The temperature in here right now is 40, and it's late afternoon. The big blue bubble is doing its job, though. I think it's keeping it warmer than above ground and above the tarp there. It's a cold, snowy, windy day. And this was next anyway, so it worked out pretty good. We got to get, this is called all thread. See, it's threaded there. We're going to use this for bracing our concrete forms out there in the hole. The purpose of the all thread, we're going to cut it into 14-inch chunks. And I think I calculated we need about 90 of those. And we're going to put that through the walls, perpendicular to the wall, and put a nut and a washer on both sides. And basically that's going to keep the wall from growing wider or being pushed out as we fill it with cement.
What are you doing in here?
Working. What are you guys doing in here?
Seeing what you're doing.
You want to help?
Yeah.
Yeah. Got this here all thread. I got to put a bunch of nuts on here and then cut this into sections. And each section has to have 2 nuts on it. And the reason I want to do that is so because once you cut it, it'll kind of mess up the end. But if you have a nut on it, you can back the nut out over that end, which actually will fix it. Makes for less work later on. I don't even have to tell him to get going. He just does it. Okay, go ahead. Nice and slow. A little bit faster. Faster. And that's probably good. Okay, let me measure it. Let's take it out. Got that?
Fun.
Was that fun?
I'll put it thicker.
I know. Yeah. Shakes a lot, huh? Full speed, go. Stop. Okay, go. Four down, 86 to go, guys.
4 down.
You gotta do 90.
90?
Yeah,
That's a ton.
I know. We've got a lot of all thread cut up. Now all we need is a bunch of blocks to get cut up. So let's cut those up real quick and we'll get them installed.
Man,
Oh man is right.
We had quite the windstorm roll through here. And it just blew and blew all night long. And our tarps are shredded.
Holy.
Very holy. All the cans are gone.
Well, not all of them.
Oh, there's some still in there.
A lot of them are.
There's big holes in the tarp.
So
much for that.
First task of the new day is to get these removed.
Yep.
And, well, probably not today, but patch them up, I think, at some point so we can put them back on. You think we can patch them up?
We're going to try.
Some pretty big holes.
There are some big holes.
I see a can.
Oh, wow. All right, it's off. Oh, big muscle. I need my drill and my impact.
Yep.
The reason I'm doing this, the OSB, it's only 1/2-inch OSB, and if I had no block and just the washer against the OSB, I fear that would be too much pressure from the concrete pushing on it. So if I have the all thread going through a block with a washer, this is much stronger, and as the wall spreads, it'll spread out the load across these blocks instead of just
a small circle. That makes
the washer, and it'll transfer across those blocks and yada yada. Anyway,
yeah, that makes sense.
we might be overdoing it. We might be underdoing it. I don't know.
We are determined not to have a blowout, though.
Yeah. So we have a ton of these to put in. It's going to take lots of time. So
Let's get going.
Let's do it. Good morning. Boy, is it chilly this morning. But it's supposed to be warm today, luckily, like almost 50 degrees. So, our all thread is installed, and boy, do we have a lot of all thread in there. The spacing on it is about, I think we went 18 inches this way and like 2 feet this way on all the spacing of the all thread, somewhere around there. And I just cut these pipes here. I got two 3-inch PVC and a 2-inch PVC here, gray. This is for our electrical that's going to come into the house. And the panel for our electrical is actually going to sit just above the root cellar, but kind of over to the side a little bit. And what these two pipes are for is ventilation. We have air that's going to be pulled in through one and pushed out through another. So we got to get these in the wall before the cement, because otherwise it'll be a lot harder to do later after the cement. Oh, and by the way, I don't know if we mentioned this yet, but we did pass our inspection for these walls. He just checked the rebar, so we're good to go. And there's another thing. We have concrete coming tomorrow morning, so we got to finish this up today. Oh no.
Oh no, what is it?
I just snapped the bit.
What? You did?
Yeah. I think I have it on too high of a torque. Hold on. Well, that's a bummer.
Well, yeah.
I think I have other 1/4-inch bits. But we'll be back after these messages. And we're back. Milwaukee to the rescue. I had the torque setting wrong. And that's why my drill bit snapped. So now we're not going to snap the drill bit. Get that in the hole right there. And change that. Ready? Oh boy.
Oh.
Hold on. Don't move.
Don't want to drop that in the
I
wall.
want a breeze to come up.
Oh, geez. That was...
I got it.
Good job.
Okay. In case you're wondering, this is from a Spider hole saw kit. I can't believe how fast these hole saws go through the wood compared to a Milwaukee hole saw. But what I just found out is the Milwaukee, I can't remember what this part's called. We'll call it the chuck. Actually fits Spider hole saws as well. So
yay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Saved us a trip to town.
Yeah. Well, I would have figured out another way. I wouldn't have gone to town for a drill bit. 2 more holes.
Yep, go.
All right, we're starting the last of the bracing, which is lots and lots of 2x4s. Okay, is this okay? Up against that, and then screw it to that stud. Good morning, guys. Today's the day. It's game time. We've got a ton of bracing put in. All the way around, inside. I did that last night in the dark. Got myself a little walk area around there. Oh, and we got a heater down there going. Look at that. Borrowed a heater. So we're warming it up before the truck gets here. Should be here in like 45 minutes. So we have one last thing to do before he gets here, and that is this right here. This is just a little tote, tray, whatever you want to call it. About $8 from Home Depot. I drew myself a square on the bottom that we're gonna cut out, and this is gonna be our chute. Should work pretty nicely. Truck is on its way. I'm going down the road to meet him so he doesn't get lost on his way up here. Unfortunately, Natalie is under the weather, you guys. She's not feeling good. And once I found that out, I was planning on I was gonna do it all. I was just gonna set the camera up in a spot for the recording and do the whole pour, but she wants to do the recording still, so show Natalie your love and support. Give her a thumbs up for this video. Holy cow, there he is. All right, here we go.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. We've got a little bulging happening in this bottom corner.
Yeah, it's pushing the stud out.
So you can see how it's hanging off at the bottom plate. So more bracing.
Never enough.
Yeah, never. This tiny shovel is tiny.
Is it working your wrists?
Need a bigger one. I'm working everything.
It's true. This is all the concrete we have left, what's left in the chute. We overestimated, but not enough apparently.
Yeah, not enough. So the calculations came out to 7.18 yards. And since they're walls, you figured you don't need that much more over because they're exact. And we ordered 7.5, so I thought we were gonna have extra.
Truck number 2.
All right, guys, we made it. That's it. It's the next day after the pour. Things are looking pretty good. And I just wanted to go over some failure points and some things that we did right as well. First off, we had a few spots that were looking pretty sketchy. We were pretty worried. If you look here, look at how the OSB has pulled away from that stud. Okay. Now, actually, what happened is the stud pulled away from this OSB because these, the all threads and these 2x4s held that OSB right where it needed to be. And on the other side, you'll see the OSB is right against the 2x4. That's because the cement was pushing on it. So there's a seam right. This is a different sheet of OSB, and then this one. So there's a seam here that we were almost had a failure happen there. One thing we did during the pour is we screwed this 2x4 to that stud to keep that stud from coming out. So you can see where the cement started to seep out. And we had all of our biggest spots where it was failing is where there were seams in the OSB. And one of them was really sketchy. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4 points where the OSB met another OSB. That's where our failure points were. Look at this one. That one right there was really bad. And you can see where I braced it. This 2x4, sorry about the lighting, has 4 other 2x4s holding it. This was a bad spot. That stud was a weaker stud, a little bit smaller. And what made it worse is you got the 2 sheets of OSB that met on that stud. It just, I don't know, it just ended up that way. So we squeaked by. What would I do next time? More screws in the OSB. I didn't put a lot of screws in the OSB because the cement was going to push against it and hold it in place, right? Which is true, except for at the seams where it's pushing against it, but also there's a seam there, so it's pulling the two apart from that intense pressure. Okay, next big failure. We did not order enough cement. The math came out to 7.18 yards, so I ordered 7.5. I figured that would have been enough because the forms are a pretty exact measurement. So we ended up having to order another yard because that's the minimum they would bring. We only ended up using half of that to finish off the walls. Now, in reality, that was a blessing in disguise, being short, because that seam over there that I showed you, if we had enough concrete in that first truck, I guarantee you that would have blown out. But since we were short, that gave me time to put in those extra 2x4s in there to save us. So yes, being short costs you, it costs us an extra $150 on top of the cost of concrete, but it would have cost us even more if that thing blew out. It would have been not good. So we're learning things here, right? That's what we're all about. Doing stuff DIY on your own. You're going to have failures and you got to learn from them. We got pretty lucky and we got it done. I'm excited. So next time if we do this again, we know what to do better, right? Now, here's a few things we did right. So the night before the pour, I put in all this bracing on the inside, and I had the idea to put these 2x4s in kind of as a catwalk so that I could stand on it. Oh, get on there. right here. And here's the top of the wall. And I could work all along here. I could run the vibrator and hold that chute over there that we used, that we made. There's no way we would have been able to pour this quick enough without the concrete setting up by using a ladder. That would have been a lot of up and down, moving the ladder. It would have been terrible. So building this catwalk, man, I only wish that I would have put a couple more boards in to make it a little better. There was one time where I almost fell down to the floor down there. And that's why this rebar is bent, because I grabbed onto it. So that was one thing I am so glad that we did. And the other thing that I'm glad that we did was because of one of you guys. I don't remember your name, sorry. But you suggested basically to beef up our corners better. I thought they were probably good enough because I put like 12 screws on every corner. And that's the outside corners here. So I got to thinking there's going to be a lot of pressure from the two walls meeting up in these corners. So what I did is I got these scrap blocks here, 3 of them, and put a whole bunch of screws in them to secure the walls better. And now that we're all done, if you look in the top, let's see, can you see? Well, that 2x4 should be flush with that top plate, and as you can see, it was pulling away. But this block held it in place. And actually 3 of the corners are like that. I think that corner over there was the only one that stayed put completely. And of course, putting the all threads in, that helped majorly. The blocks with the all thread totally helped. I'm glad I did that. Originally, I was just going to put the washer against the OSB, but I'm so glad I put these 2x4s in to act as a larger washer. Okay, this is getting kind of long, so that's all I got. We made it. We did it. We averted disaster there. Man, I think someone's looking out for us. We appreciate you guys. Thank you for watching. We'll see you on the next one. Maybe we'll be tearing these forms off.